What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we've got another problem we're going to be solving. My car isn't starting. It picked a very inopportune time to start in the Chick-fil-A drive-thru. Now whenever I take my car through the drive-thru, it's so loud I feel like the people taking my order can't really hear me, so oftentimes I'll turn the car off, they'll take my order, I'll pay, and then I'll turn the car back on and go. And in the Chick-fil-A drive-thru, I turn my car off, she takes my order, and then I very embarrassingly can't get my car started. Shaw and I have to push it off into one of the parking spots on the side of the road. So the issue that I'm having is with the security system. So I'll put my key in the ignition, I'll turn the key, and either it'll start and it's fine, or, and this is the problem, it won't start and the security light will start flashing. I'm gonna go try it in a second here on camera and see if I can catch it on camera, but the security light will flash and the car won't start. But it's not all bad news, because if you wait and you give it 5 or 10 minutes, the security light will stay on solid, it won't be flashing, but if you just leave it for 5 or 10 minutes, it'll go away and you can try it again. And if you're lucky, the car will start, but if you're not lucky, it won't start again. So what I did was I had my dad come with my spare key, because we'll get to that, and he was able to get the car started and he took the car home. I took his car back to the shop with Shaw. It doesn't matter. The problem is that security light. So what's happening here is it's the car's VATS system, or vehicle anti-theft system, so security. So to understand the security system, we need to understand how the key to the car works. So right here, I've got my car key, and if you can see right here in the center, there's this little metal chip, and that's actually a resistor. So when you put your key in the ignition, it reads that resistor, and then it knows that that's the key that belongs to the car, and it will let you start the car. But if your lock cylinder's dirty, or if your key is dirty, or if the system's wires aren't cooperating or working correctly, then it won't read that resistor, and the system just won't work. It won't let you start your car. Now, the proper solution to this is to fix the wiring or get a new lock cylinder. I've already cleaned out my lock cylinder and my key several times, so I'm past all that. At this point, it's starting to look like replacing parts, but I have an easy way to fix this. So I did my research online, and it turns out, since it only needs a resistor, right? If you test the resistance of your key to see what that value is, and you just take a resistor, you can go to the sensor that runs to the relay under the dash and unplug it and just jam a resistor in there that's the same value as the one from your key, and your car will start. Now, how do you know what the resistance of your key is? Well, that's pretty easy. You're just gonna hook up your key to an ohm meter and read how many ohms it is. But GM made 15 different versions of your ignition key, and you've got one of 15 different resistor values. Now, if you've got 2 ignition keys like I do, that means you've got potentially 2 different resistance values. Now, I've already tested my keys, and they do have 2 different values, so the resistor that I put in the car is gonna have to match up to the key that I'm gonna be using primarily, otherwise the car won't start, just like it's not starting now. So I've already tested the resistance, I've ordered the resistance kit online. It comes with actually all 15 resistors, so if I really wanted to, I could keep the one for my spare key in my glove box and then just switch them out if I ever had to use my spare key, but I'm just gonna put in the one for my main key and forget about the rest for now. Here's the resistance kit, comes with all 15 different resistors. They're real tiny, and the tricky part is figuring out which one it is. It tells you that it comes with all 15. Obviously, there's 15 resistors there. How do you know which one is which? To read resistors, you read the little colored lines on them, the little stripes. But I learned that in last semester's electrics class, and I can't remember anymore. So we're just gonna hook that up to an ohm meter 2, find the right one, and then go rip out the dash, plug it into the sensor. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so here we are in the car. We're gonna go ahead and give this a test. I'm putting my foot on the clutch, key in, we're in neutral. Boom, there it is, not started. Key is turned, not starting. Now currently all the lights are on the dash, but if I turn the key off and pull the key out, just that security light's left on. I can open the door, I can close the door, and that security light is gonna stay on and stop me from starting the car. Now, if we give it 5 minutes, that security light will go away and we can try it again, but just right now I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it one more time. Nothing. So now we can move into the car, and by can, I mean I already have. So all I did was rip out that bottom trim piece, and then this trim piece actually isn't all the way out. It's still just kind of loosely in there, but that's okay. But now that we're down here, we're looking for a sensor with 2 wires that goes in one way, and a purple striped wire and white wire that goes in the other. And I think this is it right here. We've got 2 wires on the bottom, purple stripe and white up top. That's it. So we're gonna unplug this guy, and that's the one we're gonna jam the resistor into. So now that we found it, we gotta go figure out which resistor we gotta put in it. Okay, so here I am with my ohm meter. We'll set it to ohms. my resistors and my key. Now I've already tested my key, and the value of my key is that 523 ohm resistor. So out of all of these 15 different resistors, we're looking for the one that says 523. That's the one we've got to put in the car. So there's only one way to do this, and that's to dump them all out in a mangled nest and test them one at a time. Number one, here we go. 1.6 kilo ohms, 1.4, nope, not that one. 527, there it is. That's the one. Just to be certain, we're gonna test this last one. 1.13, nope. So this one right here, second to last one we tested, 0.527 kilo ohms. That rounds up, 523 ohms. This is the winner. So now that we found the right one, we're gonna take a pair of pliers and bend this guy into a U shape with the resistor at the bottom or top of the U. So basically bend it more like this. I'm using pliers so that I can get it as precise and tight as I can, because you wanna make sure that these wires are sticking as far into the sensor as possible so that it makes contact with those wires. Alrighty, there we go. Now since it's a resistor, there's no right or wrong way to stick it in. It's not like, oh, positive side, negative side. Nope, resistor is resistor. So we're gonna take the tape off of these guys. We're gonna take this guy and jam him into the sensor from the back, because it's a little bit more stable that way. If that won't work, we'll jam it in from the front. So I will see you guys when it's in the car, because it's kind of hard to film in the car, especially when I'm like doing stuff. Okay, so now we've got that resistor jammed way down in there as far as I could get it to go. It's important that you push it in as far as you can. So that's all the way in there. And then we're just gonna leave that disconnected. We're actually gonna leave everything disconnected. We aren't gonna put everything back together until we know that it works. So we're gonna try test starting it a couple times, hope that it works, and if it doesn't, we're gonna try and put in the resistor from the front, because apparently sometimes you can mess it up from the back and not even realize it. So we'll try it from the front, and then if we can get it to start from the front, we'll try again from the back, because, you know, if it works from the front, that means it will work from the back. We're just putting it in wrong. But we don't have to worry about any of that just yet. Let's try starting the car. Alrighty, fingers crossed. Foot on the clutch, key in the ignition, neutral. There we go. It's not the strongest start, but it did it. All right, so we're gonna actually do this a couple times to make sure that it's gonna work. Oh, let me turn the car off. Yeah, this is the mistake I made last time, turning the car off so that I could talk to someone. Okay, so we're gonna try this a couple times, because sometimes the car will start fine, you'll try it again, and the light will come back on. So here we go for the second attempt. There we go, and a stronger start. That's even better. I'm willing to bet it started kind of weak because it hasn't been started in like a week, but whatever, doesn't matter. So I'll try it a third time off camera. I won't waste your time, but that's that, people. I'm gonna go ahead and put everything back together down there because it's still kind of a mess. And then I'll probably take this for a little joyride, because it's been about a week since I drove my car, and I just love driving my car. Alrighty guys, we've got all the trim pieces back in the car, and we're gonna take this for a test drive. I'm super excited because I haven't driven my car in a while, like I said. And you know, no speeding or anything like that. Of course, this is just to make sure it drives okay. There it is, of course, yes! I'm so excited. Oh, it's so nice to have a third pedal again. I've been driving my parents' cars, and they both own Kias. I don't like them very much. Guys, this was super good. This was a nice, easy fix. You know, I was in the Chick-fil-A parking lot with my car broke down, and I did the research on this, and I figured out A, what was wrong with my car, and B, how to fix it. And I had the parts ordered in the mail less than 20 minutes after my car broke down. And so that just goes to show you, you know, when you're faced with a tough situation or whatever, you know, just do your research, do your reading, you'll be surprised. My car stopped running a week ago, so I've been without my car for a week, which feels like an eternity because, I mean, come on, I love my car. But that's just waiting on parts, you know? So the tough part is figuring out what the problem is. The easy part is putting the parts together where they're supposed to go. So quick recap, the car broke down in the Chick-fil-A drive-thru as we were driving through. kind of an inconvenience. We held up traffic for a minute, especially because I didn't really know what was going on with my car, which really reflects well on me, a car guy. And I was fiddling with it in the parking lot, and you know how when the security light turns off after you give it 5 minutes, the car might start again? I got the car started and all the Chick-fil-A people started cheering, and I was like, no, this is not a fix. I just tricked it into working. So now, you know, hooray Chick-fil-A people, I finally got it to work. Reliably, I reliably got it to work. But I'm curious, comment down below, what's the weirdest place your car's broken down if it's broken down in a funky place? Because Chick-fil-A drive-thru, I've never had that happen before. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap it up. Thanks for watching the video. I know I haven't been posting a lot lately. That's been in part to school and also some drama that's been going on at the shop. You'll see in a future video, don't worry about it. But yeah, first post in 2 weeks, let's go. I'm gonna try and keep on the 1 week grind if I can, but like I said, you know, life gets hectic sometimes, so I will see you guys in the next one. All right, now it's warmed up a little bit. We'll give it a little bit of gas. Oh my God, I missed that so much. Oh, I'm so happy. Woo! Oh, and the braking, I forgot the braking actually works the way it should. The Kias brake like shit. Oh, it's a good day.